Asbury Park's popularity as a resort area has declined over the years, but while no one seemed to be watching, Bruce Springsteen, Southside Johnny, and a host of others were cutting their musical teeth in the many nightclubs which dotted the strip there in the late 60s. They forged a rock and roll sound which would eventually lead to Asbury Park's revival. Last year, Steve Bumball and Billy Smith decided to pay tribute to the Jersey Shore musicians by opening the Asbury Park Rock and Roll Museum. Steve explains the need for a museum.
People come to Asbury Park from all over the world. It's really sort of a mecca for Springsteen fans and music fans in general. And prior to us opening, there really wasn't too much to see in town. You can see the parking lot where the Sunshine Inn once stood and things like that, or, you know, of course look at the Stone Pony, but there's a lot more history to the area than just that, and we sort of fill in that missing link.
You know, I'm from Sweden, and we have traveled all the way to come here to Asbury Park to really get the feeling of the rock myth and really feel the rock and roll.
It's just amazing that this much talent has been in this area. I mean, if you go, like, for example, and look at the Upstage Club, at one point you had Springsteen, Southside Johnny, Steve Van Zandt, Bill Chinnick, David Sanchez, all that turned out to be recording artists. One of the main reactions that people have are they're amazed at the older stuff. They're amazed to see pictures of Steve Van Zandt and Bruce Springsteen with hair down to their shoulders and down to their, you know, rear ends. And they haven't seen any of that. It hasn't been in the books. It hasn't been written about really in any detail.
As I'm walking around in the Asbury Park area, you walk around and everywhere you look, it has to do with a Springsteen song. You walk on the boardwalk, you see Madame Marie's. You didn't realize that really existed. And when I first came into town, the first day, when I saw the street sign for Kingsley, the song started going through my head. I'm driving down Kingsley thinking I'm going to get a drink. It's just like everything really fits in with the Springsteen songs.
We really never wanted to be known as a Bruce Springsteen museum. Of course, Bruce is a central part of our whole exhibit because he's really the most popular and most well-known performer from the area. Bruce is really a small part of what actually happened here in Asbury Park. So, you know, we try to highlight the part of history that they may not be quite as familiar with. John Bon Jovi spent a lot of time in Asbury Park, specifically when he had a band called Atlantic City Expressway, which is sort of his high school band, but they spent a lot of time playing at the Fast Lane and did mostly Bruce and Southside Johnny material. Later on, he had an original band called The Rest, and after that, John Bon Jovi and the Wild Ones.
Sonny's another one. Sonny was called by Bruce the first legend from Asbury Park. Sonny and the Starfires was the first hot band around here. Everybody went to see them. Bruce and Southside would stand in front of the stage and watch Sonny and copy his moves. We've been visited by virtually every musician represented in here, except for Bruce. And Stephen, whose whole family was down here, and he sent his regards and said he'd be down as soon as possible, sent us down an autographed poster with his mom. And everybody else has pretty much been here. Southside Johnny, Max, Patty, people from Bruce's bands. We had Bo Diddley in here, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. John Bon Jovi, who's the new local sensation. They've all come in, they bring their families in, and there I am, you know, pointing themselves on the wall. It makes us feel good, it makes them feel good. Vinny Lopez, who was Bruce's drummer from 1969 to 1974, contributed a bunch of photos, drumsticks. He gave us the cornet that he played on Bruce's second record. He gave us his surfboard, which is significant because they used to live in the surfboard factory. Several members of the Castiles gave us a guitar, Bruce's high school yearbook, the Castiles single. Pretty much anything that they had laying around, they felt that this is where it belonged, and openly gave us whatever we wanted, and it's, you know, greatly appreciated, and they're glad to see it being appreciated by the fans that come here.
One who hasn't yet visited is Springsteen himself. What would the boss think of the museum?
I'm sure he would spend a couple hours there and really bring back a few memories for him.
The Asbury Park Rock and Roll Museum is located on the southern end of the boardwalk and is open daily. I'm Bill Roller, in your interest.